Good day, my friends, and welcome. And thank you, first and foremost, for being with us this morning. My apologies for a delay. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing about practicing law. Let me give you an idea, a little bit about something. If you want to ever, if you're ever considering it as a vocation, or if you have somebody, let's say, family, or somebody who might be considering, whether to do it, always remember you have to remember and anticipate complete and total breakdown of every aspect of everything. I know that sounds kind of whatever, but it's absolutely the truth. You must expect the human element to completely distort and destroy everything. You also must understand that when you're doing things like, oh, I don't know, trial conferences and negotiations, and you're on doing using Zoom and the like, it actually sounds terrific because you don't have to be in the same city in the same room. But if ever there is any kind of a glitch, if ever there is a glitch regarding any parties who don't have enough, say, Wi-Fi, who don't have speakers, who don't know who insist upon looking up during the camera, little things like that, it can be most unnerving. That's all I will say. It is most unnerving. So that being said, I welcome apologies to anybody who had to wait, but remember what you're doing right now. This is this is free. So nobody lost any money on this one. I'm the only one inconvenienced. Sorry. I know this sounds terrible, but believe it or not, there's a part of today's show, and I just thought, it doesn't really apply here, but it's a little bit of a thing called entitlement, which I want to explain to you, which there's so much to discuss. First of all, let me respond, let me ask that there are absolutely important. This is so critical for you to ensure that you are signed. Every now and then, we will hear that various social media platforms will just purge, I mean, purge, uh, subs and subscriptions, and when you find out what happened, they say, "Oh, we're getting rid of bots. Those were bots." Bots? Yeah, those were bots. I don't think those were bots. Yeah, they were bots. So, for whatever it's worth, my friends, if you really want to assist, aside from liking this and obviously supporting us and the like, please make sure that you are subscribed. Okay? Please make sure. It is so critical that you are subscribed. And number one, understand, and let me warn you ahead of time. And this is something really, really important for me to tell you. I am not anything you've ever heard on any show at all. We may hit and agree 100%. But what I take and what I believe may not necessarily be something that is a popular thought. It may be indeed antithetical to what you're thinking. In fact, you may say to yourself, I just disagree. That's okay. Do what I do when I disagree with others. I listen to them and I say, okay, that's all right. That's interesting. And then I either change my mind or very rarely do I change my mind. But I always like to hear, more importantly, I like to hear why people think certain things. So let's sit back. Let's get ready to rock and roll, as it were. Thank you again for waiting. Thank you for the for being as patient and as glorious as you are. But first, this word from our sponsor. 2 million people were hit in a massive debt collection data breach. The most valuable pieces of personal information to hackers were exposed, including full names, birth dates, and social security numbers. What's worse is that the hackers had unauthorized access to this debt collection database for over a week, nearly guaranteeing that they got every piece of information they could ever want on you. That's why I protect my personal data with today's sponsor, Virtual Shield One. And I absolutely love the security I get with them. Virtual Shield One helps protect my personal data, browsing history, and internet activity from data breaches like this one. It does this by continuously scanning the dark web, and it helps to erase my data anywhere it finds it. That's why my private data is better protected against cyber criminals, tech corporations, or ISPs. Plus, Virtual Shield One includes up to $1 million in identity theft protection insurance. So I know my data is safe. Every day, 3.8 million people have their personal records stolen from data breaches. Use Virtual Shield One to help prevent yourself from being one of them. Thanks again to Virtual Shield One for sponsoring Lionel Nation. Be sure to sign up by visiting virtualshield.com/Lionel, or simply use my link in the description below, because every sign up with that link gets up to 67% off with a 60-day risk-free trial. Give yourself the gift of peace of mind. My friend, if it does not help President Trump advance to re-election, I'm not interested in it. Let me just say this again. If it does not do anything to help the president advance, I'm not interested. If the president does something that I disagree with, I will tell you. If somebody else does something, I will tell you. If I think something is irrelevant or important, I will tell you. I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to be calm. I'm not going to do anything unless and until after these more important, this is critical. After this 134 days have elapsed until the debate. Now, I'm hearing things that make no sense whatsoever from people who merely want to put out content. And that's a wonderful thing. But as you know, my friends, as you know, we are in a very interesting information flux. And I always liken this to the time years ago when there was this proliferation of comedy, when comedy was everywhere. When comedy was everywhere. And everything was on TV. It was Evening at the Improv. It was this. It was that. It was everywhere you went. There was some form of comedy, something or other, to the point where it got to be ridiculous. And we got things like Judy Tenuta and Emo Phillips. This is how bad it was. We were so bereft of actual innovative comedy at the time that we actually had Andrew Dice Clay come on and say the same poems over and over again, and people thought that was funny. I was watching something, I don't know why I thought it was funny, but Joe Rogan had on Andrew Dice Clay, and I'm thinking, this was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life, and he was the biggest thing anybody's ever seen. You understand something? This is the most important. This is. I thought, wow. So, that being said, let's start with the one thing in particular: the debate. Okay, the debate. The debate is one of the most important and critical things ever, but not because of the debate, because of the distraction. When I say distraction, the non-focused concern over things that don't matter. Now, I had some wonderful little clips for you, but everything being a disaster this morning, they were shelved. But there was an instance of some woman on CNN with some, I guess she's from Trump's team, and they were snipping or sniping or yelling about whatever they were saying. I don't know whether that makes any difference. And the first question anybody should be asking is very simply this: do debates matter? The answer is no. Can they hurt? Yes. Can they help? No. Only if they hurt. Only if they hurt. Let me say that again. Debates can only help if they hurt. If Joe Biden were to just keel over, just in the middle of this, just pass out, God forbid, just that, things like that. Because the reaction, remember, what will get the reaction of children? Something that is easily replicable, repeatable, something that can be provided for this is the most important thing in the world, but something that can be shown over and over and over again to the point of just exhaustion. That's number one. Something very simple to understand. Something that lends itself to memes, and something that involves just a visual, just that sort of thing. Okay, understand this? Okay, good. Now, second, if you yourself, how do I say this? If you believe in civil liberties, if you believe in civil liberties, if you believe, how can anybody in their right mind actually advocate the notion of demanding a drug test on the part of the president? I mentioned this last night, and I was shocked by the same people who say the government has absolutely no right or ability to tell me anything as to taking vaccines or whatever it is. Do you understand this? This is the most important thing in the world. This is the most. I cannot believe how I'm thinking. Whoa, wait. You go, doesn't really matter. It's Joe Biden. We hate Joe Biden, and because we hate Joe Biden, anything that embarrasses Joe Biden, we're for it because we hate Joe Biden. We hate Joe Biden, and Joe Biden's the president. And by God, we're going to. What do you think that President Trump should be subjected to drug testing? Well, no, but well. So here's something. Whoa, wait a minute. And this is where I say, I'm over here. The world's over there. I don't know who these people are. Drug testing? You want a drug test? And what do you get when you drug test Joe Biden? What do you do? A piss test? You want him to urinate in a cup and evaluate? Say, well, depending upon the transit time, I don't know if you say, when are you going to do the drug test? A half an hour before. Okay. That's fine. It won't show up. Take the Adderall. Let's just say it's Adderall. We don't know if it's Adderall. We're going to say it's Adderall. Don't know if it's Adderall. Could be, maybe not. When are you going to take the test? Now, okay. Take the test. The Adderall doesn't show up until, I don't know, later on. The transit time is maybe 24 hours. You might want to take a test afterwards. You might want to see like the date like afterwards. I mean, can you believe this? To time a urine screen? You're going to take a blood test? And there are people actually saying this. There are people literally saying, and I hate when people use the word literally, because literally is the word and the phrase people love to use to the point of exhaustion. Literally versus figuratively. But literally means I really mean it today. I was literally in my seat when you called. It means like underline or exclamation point or something. Now, I promise you, none of the jadrules on Fox or the soon-to-be shuttered Newsmax or I don't know, anybody says, wait a minute, hold it. This is the point that's being missed. Number two, I'm going to say this. If Trump was really smart, and I'm telling you this, I hope he does this, is act very carefully. Act as though Joe is this enfeebled old Burt Mustin of a man, so devoid of mentation, and say, if he wants to sit down, let him sit down. If he wants to, I'll do whatever we can, whatever I can do to accommodate. It would blow these people's minds. Whatever you say, whatever I can accommodate, President. I know. He may not be up to his best. So whatever we can do to be fair, I'm all for it. Because Trump is going to destroy him no matter what. You understand this. And Trump has got to say, now, may I speak now? Are you going to turn is my mic on? You've got to make people aware of the stupidity of this, because nobody knows the rules. When he does speak, you say, well, let me say this too, because there is no, pursuant to the rules, there is no audience here. So let me speak to the American people directly. And thank you for that question. Boom. They won't know what to do with this. Number two, he's got to ignore Joe Biden. He's got to ignore him. Number three, he can never refer to anybody but the Democrats. And if he really, really, really wants to, and you can say, and you know what, Joe, and with all due respect, I say this out of respect. I've known you for a long time. But to you or whoever is, to the nominee, to the Democratic nominee, to the Democratic nominee, to the Democratic nominee, to the Democratic nominee. What does that mean? It may not be you, for whatever it's worth, but whoever, to the Democratic nominee, keep throwing that out. And they're going to go crazy. Draw out CNN to make sure to show their bias. And this I say to the country and the Democratic nominee. And if he were to say, this is where it gets really, really fun. If they said, Mr. President, Mr. Trump, you keep saying whoever the Democratic nominee is going to be, what are you saying? I think you know exactly what I'm saying. And with all due respect to President Trump, I think we all know. I think we all know that the likelihood of us seeing President Biden is extremely limited. And I don't want to go into detail, but only a blind person would not see what is going on right now. By the way, Terry, thank you for being a new member. And Raul Rodriguez, our buddy, I'm elated with Trump being elected president. Well, as am I. But remember, we'll get to the hard part in a minute, which nobody wants to address. Nobody wants to talk about this. Why do I say this? Follow what I'm saying. He does the interview and he acts absolutely so calmly, and he will destroy everything and anything involving the order. It will freak them out. Tell them. Say, listen, the 800-pound gorilla, President Biden is in no shape right now to serve. Why are you saying this? Here's President Trump. You have said repeatedly that I lack the moral character, that by virtue of the legal proceedings that the shadow government or lawfare, whoever has thrown on me, that I'm not able to serve. That I'm not able to serve by virtue of everything from my character to my, to you name it. I've constantly been told. If I made a mistake one time, I used the wrong name. And it was a cacophony of the shadow government media, deep state media, fake news media, whatever you want to call it, whatever drives them crazy. Most importantly, you, CNN, call it. Be very, very, just call them out. They won't know what to do. They'll freak out. But you question my moral ability. And one time when I confused the name, you said that you even said, there was one article, I believe, from your, or story from your network, where you said, I was having a hard time I was confused and losing my train of thought. I didn't know where I was. You said this. Yet you've never, ever, ever questioned and please, with all due respect, President Biden, you've never questioned the intellectual wherewithal of President Biden. In fact, when Karine Jean-Pierre, who, by the way, listen, will be replaced by Tyler Cherry, the non-binary, whatever you want to call it, mark my words, we'll get to that in a moment. Okay, that's that. So he can throw a stink bomb into that cotillion. He can drop a you-know-what in the punch bowl. He can just they won't know what to do. But he's saying, you're actually asking me, with all due respect, about questions about, let's say, the economy or about foreign affairs, when before you stands a man who, by all observation, does not possess the minimal wherewithal to drive a car, much less be the president. Do you have any idea who put you up to this? Do you mean to tell me, in your journalistic ken, in your worldview, you never thought about this? What does this man have to do? And by the by, Karine Jean-Pierre, as I was alluding to before, came up with something. I know she didn't think of this, but somebody said, we want you. We want you. Where we want you to go out and say that these are cheap fakes. What are those? Okay. Cheap fakes are not deep fakes. These are distortions. And nobody's going to believe that. I know, we're that desperate. And President Trump's going to say, there was a scene with President Biden at G7, which I attended before many times, and he was walking off and you said, oh, he was talking to soldiers. No, he wasn't. Now, you know he wasn't. I know he wasn't. The Prime Minister of Italy said, no. What are you talking about? Come here, over here. They didn't say, no, Meloni, he's talking to the soldiers. He's not talking to the soldiers. He's looking at the soldiers, I think. But he's walking away. I'm getting him. I'm bringing him back. What are you talking about? He's not the... Okay, that's that. Okay, put this issue over here. Boom. Okay, you got that? Next issue. You want to get scared? And listen to me. I love you folks with all my heart. And I love the fact that as we speak, if you read these great comments, it's everything. Agenda 2020, Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, WEF, World Economic Forum, Jekyll Island, fractional reserve currency, DARPA, HARP, you name it, Alzheimer's. Great. It's almost like a veritable cacophony, a melange, a cascade, a myriad, a mosaic, a waterfall of issues that have absolutely nothing to do with this election. Nothing. They're there merely to let you know, I know these things, and I love you for that. But if we want to see the president elected, nobody will be talking about 2030 World Economic Forum, Codex Alimentarius. Remember that one? No, I do. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about eating bugs and knowing less and having less and none of it. They're not going to talk about the Lahaina fires, directed energy weapons, 9/11, moon landings, geoengineering, UFOs, nothing. And I know we know this. And I know how we love to show how much we know. We love to do this. Did you know this? I didn't know that. Well, it's true. Did you know that? Are you familiar with we can play, we always admit, you know about You know about the Mont Pelerin? What's that? Well, it's Bilderberger for Bilderberger. I didn't know that. That's right. It's for the wow. That's pretty good. Wow, I know a lot about that stuff. Yep, I'm aware of that. Did you know about the Bohemian Grove? Oh yes, and there's a new monolith, a new obelisk, whatever, in the Nevada desert. And who cares? What does this mean? I don't know. It's just kind of, New World Order and, stuff. And Maxine Waters. Who cares about Maxine Waters? They're going to say, Maxine, go out and say something. Say there's going to be a bloodbath. Okay, go out, Maxine. Go out, do your thing. Maxine, do your thing. Do your thing. Charlie says, do you want 4 more years of this? That is still the best motto there is. But let me tell you what they're going to do. And Trump has to go out. He has to tell people. When he goes out and he has these wonderful, he's meeting with people, and there's this wonderful picture of the young man with the Trump wig who was crying, and he signed the dollar bill. It's wonderful. Those are already Trump supporters. Those are Trump supporters. You know that, right? Those are Trump supporters. So you're going to see a lot of people say, this was great. Wasn't that a great rally? A great rally. Are they going to vote for Trump? Yes. And what does this rally mean? Well, it will convert over to to undecideds and the like. Are you sure about that? Well, maybe. Are you sure about that? I hope so. Well, I don't know. I hope so. So whenever the president gets out there, when he walks out, whenever he hears I'm proud to be an American, so help me God, I hate that song out of sheer repetition, and it doesn't mean anything. Or at least I know we're free. I'm not free. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean we're free? Free to do what? What am I free to do? I can't even question an election without being sidelined. Oh, I'm not thrown in jail for it. You mean we're free? During COVID, did you feel free? Would you stop this once and for all? We're not free. We're not the greatest country in the world. I don't know where this came from. Why do we keep saying this? We've never been to other countries. How do we know? Do you think we're free? Look around you. Are you kidding me? Do you understand this? So listen to what I'm saying. President Trump has to come out and say, attention, attention. They're going to steal this. But here's how they do it. They're going to steal it legally. You are going to have millions of new voters, provisional voting. You can show up, right? You can show up. You can just show up at a lot of times you can say, I don't have my thing. I just moved here. Oh, okay. I don't have my thing. I don't have my thing. I don't have my thing. Okay, fine. I don't have my thing. I don't have that, whatever it's called. I don't have this, whatever you call it. Great. Okay, fine. And you're going to see more people come out of the woodwork like you've never seen before. You are going to see stuff that's going to blow your mind. You are going to see things, I'm telling you, that is just, you're not going to believe. And you're going to see 10 million new people. 10 million. Where are they from? Or 5 million or 2 million, maybe not 10 million. Why? They're new citizens. What? Oh yeah, here they are. Pedro Martinez. He's voting. I'm voting. Here, I'm voting. And by the way, I'm living in Duluth or Akron. I'm part of when they do the redistricting. I'm going to change the population and I'm going to be here. We're looking at a permanent. Let me say this again. We're looking at a permanent Democratic Party. You're going to see DC as the 51st state. I'm telling you, listen to what I'm telling you. You're going to see an end to the filibuster. You're going to see a new PAC Supreme Court. And you're going to say, what is this? And they're going to say, Now you know why we've got these people coming in. Now you know. And you know what, Tucker? You were a little bit right about that replacement theory, but we told you not to say that. We called it racist. And by the way, remember, whenever we tell you not to say something, that means you're right. That means you're 100% correct. You know what's going to happen? And you're going to send all these people out there. And you can have Dinesh D'Souza, our good friend, out there all day long. Go ahead, Dinesh, take it. Go ahead. Here, look at this. This is, go ahead. We have about maybe 2 million people. Who knows? And all of them have been told, listen to me. You come in here and you got one condition, one thing you're going to do. What is it? You're going to vote Democrat. You understand what you're doing? We got a biometric of you. We know who you are, and we can find you. They don't know this. We know this. We're not going to say anything about the unaccompanied minor or anything else. But you better promise me you're going to show up. Oh, we'll do that. Because they come from countries where they know a little bit about politics. They know about it. We don't care if you're a cartel member, if you're a member of Tren de Aragua, if you're MS-13. We don't care. If you're with the cartels, if you're from the it doesn't matter. You're going to go in and you're going to present them with something, and they are going to take this 100%. You're going to say, wait a minute, how can they do this? And the Democrats will say, because of the provision of what? It was administrative rule that was passed. I don't know about that. They're not citizens. You don't have to be citizens. We passed these new rules. We've got all these provisions of, and he's the winner. And Biden could be on a stretcher. He could be straight line EEG. It doesn't matter. How do we know that's not going to happen? How do we know? That's what scares the hell out of me, because they're too quiet. Listen to what I'm saying. They're too quiet. You don't understand something. They're going to do this. And you're going to say, wait a minute. They're going to say, no, it's not. It's fair. You want to go to court? Go to court. And they're going to say, in Michigan, let's say in this particular precinct, all these people, they're legal. Well, Michigan passed something. There was a provision of voting, and you statute this and blah, blah, blah. And those are, but they're not citizens. You don't have to be a citizen. You know what? Well, there's this new provision. You're going to have people. And by the way, let me just say something again. These aren't going to be mysterious people. Those votes are going to be accounted for. 1,000 votes, those 1,000 people. Who are they? That's for you to figure out. Are they legal? You want to challenge them? Well, they're here. We're letting people vote in prison. We're letting people vote here. We're letting people vote whether you have an ID, whether you don't have an ID. Who is he? What's your name? Where are you from? I don't know. Do you have a birth certificate? No. Well, if you don't need an ID, who is this person? I don't know, but they're all here. Wait a minute. We have more people voting this year than 4 years ago. Well, there's more people here. They're migrants. See what I'm saying? Anybody talking about that? Nope. Nobody. Did you hear about all the Chinese companies and land right around military bases? How about all the land? How about all the land, the food, the land, the farms that China owns? You might want to listen to this. It's no longer a question of if something catastrophic is coming, it's when. Now, what are you going to be doing about it to prepare now? Your first step is going to my website, preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. And for a limited time, enjoy their special partner offer. Take $50 off a 4-week or $100 off a 3-month emergency food supply. You decide, but act now. My Patriot Supply is equipped to help you and your family prepare. They've helped over 2 million families already, and they're simply the best. These 4-week starter kits provide over 2,000 calories every day, 16 varieties, 25-year shelf life, breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks, everything, you name it. And They're sealed inside 2 rugged waterproof buckets and over 31 pounds of food. But the best deal, what I recommend, is the 3-month supply. But anyway, it's your choice, but act now. Take advantage now, and preparewithlionel.com is where you should go. Preparewithlionel.com. Okay, listen to this. Here's the next one for you. You ready for this? Anybody talking about this one? I promise you they're not. July 24th. What day is July 24th? Not what day of the week. What is that? What does that date signify to you? July 24th. What is it? What's so important about July 24th? What is it? July 24th. Come on. Who's the first person to tell me? Who's the first person to answer? Come on. Let's go. What's the first person? Ready? Ready? By the way, Daniel says, you know what? This is not at all beyond crazy. Just a wild hair of an idea for prepping Biden for the debate. Neuralink gives him a lesser form of AI. To an extent. To an extent. Interesting. July 24th. Come on. What is it? Come on. What's the date? 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 Anybody? I'm going to wait here, see what's got. Nobody knows. July 24th. Who's coming to town? Who's coming to town? They've got it tentatively scheduled. Who's coming to town? Americans have no idea what's going on. No idea. None. They walk around and, I don't know. Come on, who's coming to town? Nope, Santa's not coming to town. Who's going to be speaking? Who's going to be speaking? July 24th. And this is the most aware person. These are the most connected people ever. Funny though, Wayne Newton. Santa Claus. I don't know. Anybody? Let me see. Yeah. Let me see if anybody's coming along here. Anybody? Look at this. Nobody. Thank you. Bibi Netanyahu. Finally. Or as Stanley calls him, BB, like BB King. What's going to happen there? Dr. Phil. Oh, God. That's who we are. We joke. We don't know, but we got jokes. Oh, we're funny. God, we're funny. KCRA TV announced Gavin Newsom is slashing the budget in California. One of the brilliant ideas is to close prisons down. Pray for California. Well, let me tell you something. He is ready to go. Democrats love him. What's going to say that? What's going to happen? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Is there going to be protests? Yes. Big protest? Big protest. What kind of protest? Big protest. They will be called anti-Israel. You never see pro-Israel protests. It's always anti-Israel or pro-Palestinian. Where's it going to be? At the White House, at the Capitol. Now, J62, get ready. Coming soon to a theater near you. Anybody want to go to January? Anybody want to go to Washington ever and protest ever again? Anybody want to go? Let me ask you, anybody want to go? You want to go if I said, hey, we're going to protest in Washington after January 6th? You want to go? When they have your name and they have your phone, and they know what you're doing there. And then they went to all this stuff that says, well, you were a part of an organization that we've considered or determined to be terroristic and the like. Yeah. You want to go there? Now they're going to say, well, is this insurrection? Well, no. But is it a seditious conspiracy? They'll find something. Lindsey Graham will find something. You want to go there? Watch what happens. Watch what they do. And watch the J6 say, wait a minute. What are they doing? Well, is it sedition? The world has been told you, they've told you, do not come to Washington. How many people are still in the gulags in DC now? How many? Anybody? No clue. We talk about that anymore? Nope. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she did for a while. Anybody there? I don't know. I don't know. What are they charged with? I don't know. How many total people were charged? I don't know. Who shot Ashley Babbitt? That guy. Anything ever happened? I don't know. Well, what were they charged with? I don't know. What ultimately, what was the score? Was it insurrection? Was it a seditious conspiracy? What was it? I don't know. So you know they're ready. And you know they're going to be this time, because remember what happens. In the city of New York, nobody gave a damn about the crime in this country until the, quote, pro-Palestinian or anti-Israeli protesters at Columbia University. Then they brought in police we've never seen before. We've never even seen. It looked like, who in the hell are these people? Holy God. They were the scariest looking folks I have ever seen. It's unbelievable. They had, oh my God, they had, what was it called? This special equipment with, not siege equipment. I mean, I couldn't believe it. What the hell is this? I thought I saw everything. In New York, you can't believe the stuff they have. The equipment and the teams. They have ERT and this and that, and they can rappel. They got more. They've got high-speed boats. They got helicopters. They got everything you can imagine. Blimps and drones and you name it. And they came out of nowhere because the big shots who run the world, Wall Street and otherwise, told Eric Adams, who's a puppet for them, said, you're going to send everybody else and you're going to stop this. Do you understand this? Because we're going to call this anti-Semitic. Whether they're saying anything about Jews or not, it doesn't matter. We want them stopped. You got that, Adams? You want the money? Do it. Okay. And the mayor of New York sent in the police to stop a protest. And sometimes they broke stuff. Absolutely. Sent in the 82nd Airborne to Columbia University because of the subject matter, because of this idea that we don't say things about this. We don't do pro-Palestine. We don't talk about things like, genocide and all that stuff. Never. And you don't say anything about Israel, anything about the Nakba, anything about apartheid, anything about ethnic cleansing, anything about genocide, anything about the ICC, the ICJ, Bibi, nothing. You nod your head. You're a Lindsey Graham. You nod your head, whatever it is. Somebody said one time, is Israel the 51st state? No, it's a District of Columbia. It's like a province or something. I don't understand what this thing is. Watch what happens. You're going to see remember, with January 6th, it was undermanned, under-equipped, underprepared because they wanted it to blow over. They wanted it to be big so they can move in as part one of their two-part. They arrest and then they blame Trump. They knew what was happening. That's why they called off the National Guard. They did it on purpose. That's why they let people in. Oh, sedition, this is terrible. It was a trespass. It was nothing. It's nothing. But see, we don't know that because nobody follows through with this, because we've got numbnuts who represents the Republican Party. And what do? I don't know. But we talk about things like somebody was on CNN and yelled at some woman about, I don't know. They think that's great. Hey, Trump got a Philly cheesesteak. And the little kid, he smiled, he cried. Us not. We're the most clueless people in the world. We have no idea. And the Democrats are saying this is fantastic. By the way, bring in Tyler Cherry. Who is he? He's a guy, some non-binary guy with a hairy chest, dressing like a woman or whatever it is, who said terrible things about the cops. Bring him in. He's going to replace Karine Jean-Pierre. You think I'm kidding? You went berserk with Rachel Levine. Remember that one? Oh, they're going for full bore. Let me tell you what else they're going to do. Get ready for this. They haven't had a good takedown in a while. They went after Alex Jones, and you know what? Alex Jones has more money, not himself, but more people supporting him than you will ever imagine. Never worry about Alex Jones. Never. He is never going away. He is supplied and financed and supported by more people you will ever know in your life. Okay? Remember that. That's number one. The second thing is, there's a group of people, there's one in particular, and I like her a lot. Libs of TikTok. I like her. There's another one too who I was watching this morning who was very funny. Absolutely lefty, made fun of people, but it was really good. I forget her name. Mrs. Bauman or Bauer. Anyway, it was funny. They did some stuff about, brutal about Don Jr. I may not agree with it, but it was pretty good. There are people who are pretty good. I love the way they're elevating Jerry Seinfeld. There's some kind of like, boy, did you see that great comeback? I've got news for you. Jerry Seinfeld, it's over. And not because of Israel or comedy. It's done. It's finished. It's over. It's over. Why do I want to go to a club and see somebody? By the way, except for me, because I'm different, 26th of October, Cutting Room, I'm not comedy. I know people say, of course. Oh, no, comedy's a joke. I love it. You can quote me on that. Little timeout, friends. You know who was perhaps the greatest comedian of all time? Pound for pound. Milton Berle. Milton Berle couldn't laugh. Milton Berle couldn't make me laugh about anything. Dressing up as a woman. By the way, he was one of the predators of. Milton Berle, Bob Hope. Oh dear God, Kirk Douglas. Woo, woo. You have no idea, but I digress. Milton Berle was it, and one day we said, Milton, come on, Mr. Television. I'm sorry, Seinfeld is that way. And it's not because it's not funny anymore, or it's not funny. It's that we're changing. Things change. Music changes. Jerry and the Pacemakers weren't bad. We just moved on. It's just you move on. The Stones. How about this great pissy match between Dave Grohl and Taylor Swift? Dave Grohl, changing subjects. Dave Grohl doesn't get it. The last person in the world you want to mess with is Taylor Swift. And people laugh at that. Rick Beato did this great thing about better than the Beatles. Rick, you don't get it. This is professional wrestling. This is professional wrestling. You just don't get it, do you? You don't understand it. And Grohl actually stood in London and said, well, we call this the error is true. You know why? Because we actually play our own music. What? Well, the Swifties, or whatever they were, came after him like you can't believe. Here's another one. I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you. Did you see this guy? His name is Addison Smith. No. Minor point, but this is fascinating. Addison Smith is this kind of a dweebish kind of guy who I don't want to say too much about it. He proposed to his girlfriend or whatever, and anyway, there are sometimes people who do things because they're happy, and other times they do things because of see, I'm getting engaged. See, you see, did you catch that? Did you catch what I'm saying? All right. So he does this thing, and he was at TV, whatever, and he starts on his Twitter thing. Jesus is Lord. Okay, fine. All right. Free country. Because that's his thing. That's how he's marketing himself. So as he posts the picture of himself, he says something about pride. Pride. Hang on. This may seem like a tangential story to you. Here it is. Condolences to your wife. Here he is. Daily Mail, top story. Daily Mail is just fantastic. And there's a picture of him with the ring. It's like, come on, man. I'm not going to say anything. And he writes, Pride Month is so defeated. I love you, Charisse D. Ward, whatever her name is. Charisse. And he says, Pride Month is so defeated. And she's like this, okay. And he's standing there and it's okay, doing their thing. And he's okay. And they came after him like you cannot believe. Now, what does this mean? Let me explain this to you. If you want to take on the world, you got to ask yourself the question, do I really want to do this? Is this really important to me? Do you really want to do this? And now he is just, and this one, the wife is thinking, I don't know if I like this or not. Maybe she does because people are so demented today. Same thing with Dave Grohl. He doesn't get it. Here's another one for you. Oh, you're going to hate this one. Oh, you're going to go nuts with this one. You're going to go crazy when I tell you this one. Now, let me explain this to you. If you want to go on TV and you want to be a part of anything, if you want to say, this is my label, this is who I am, okay? Jesus is Lord, hire me. Put me on your TV show. Jesus is Lord in the name of the Father, and that's it. Basically, Jesus is Lord and everything else, okay. Just like you never see a Jewish person, people who go out of their way so ostensibly Jewish, not Israeli now. You never see somebody on TV, all of a sudden where you'll never see somebody on TV. Well, maybe you will, and I doubt it, but we ever see somebody with the payas and the tzitzis and the whole bit and the shamdan light. You never see that. Or somebody who's Muslim, Allah Akbar, none of that stuff. No. But Christian, you're okay. Mark Robinson from North Carolina wants to be the governor of North Carolina. Okay, fine. He gets out there and he says, I want you to understand one thing, because it's Jesus. The only one in the world is Jesus. Now, you know what this is? This was his political career nationally. It's done. They don't get it. Now, you're going to go crazy over that. You're going to say, wait a minute. I agree with that. Precisely. Why do people not understand this? If you want to say whatever you want, go ahead. Say what you want. Do what you want. Be what you want. Whatever your political is, your things or your ideas. I'll tell you somebody who I've always supported, and he said everything he wants. You know who that is. All right, dear friends, it's time yet again to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know. A free gift. It's a tautology. So sue me. But first, listen. Check out their $25 extravaganzas. Listen to this. Premium MyPillows. King and Queen. MyPillow 2.0. MyPillow bed sheets. The lowest prices ever. Sandals, slides, and slippers. 6-piece towel sets. 4-pack dish towel sets. Simply and absolutely the best. It is unbelievable. So go to mypillow.com/Lionel or call 800-645-4965 and watch how fast Mike answers the phone. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. Simply the best, simply and absolutely the best. You see, this is the thing where you have to ask yourself, what do you want to do? You want to be the governor of North Carolina? Okay. You want to be president of the country? No. No. Well, I'm a Christian. Right. George Bush was. He didn't. Well, look, I'm not going to question anybody about their faith. I'm the one who always tells you I think faith is a good thing. I think it's terrific. I like when somebody shows that they believe in something other than themselves. But if you think, first of all, that you're going to go get national election by telling people that Jesus and you are Jesus and he is the only one I answer to, okay, that's it. It's done. You're finished. You're done. And he'll say, I know that. So, okay, good. Just want to let you know, you'll never win like that. You'll never win an election like that. It's a different world. And politics is a different thing. Let me ask you something. Do you believe for 1 minute that Trump, seriously, is some kind of evangelical? No. Is he of faith? I'm sure he is. But he's got to play to it. He's got to cater to it. He's got to do it. And there's a very, very strong voter contingent in this country. But do you think, and do you honestly believe that Trump is what? Pro-life, whatever pro-life means? He's against abortion? No. No. But how Christian do you have to be Christian? Don't lay it on thick. That's all you got to do. Whatever your faith is, don't lay it on thick. But then people like this guy who gets engaged, they get involved in the emotion and the momentum, and they don't think to themselves, is this going to play back later? Give you a next one too we're going to talk about. So far, we've had Tiffany Henyard, who is the worst politician ever. You have the entitled one, Fannie Willis. You had Jasmine Crockett, who was kind of funny though. What does she call MTG? Big Butch Block, whatever. I don't know what. Screaming, yelling, MTG, always, or AOC. Okay, good. You know who the new one is? This is my new favorite. I'm going to be doing one on her. Judge Christine Peterson from, I think, the Atlanta area. I think she's the highest paid. She was a probate judge. Absolutely clueless. Now, people are going to say, you keep picking on black women. No, this is the story today of a woman who happens to be black. Anybody who does this, I will tell you, this woman is or was a judge. She is going to be booted because she had 30 counts of impropriety as a judge or whatever it is. She's in the Buckhead area of Atlanta, which is very nice. And she's at a bar, 3 a.m. She is loud, waxed, gooned, out of her mind. And she decides there was a woman there who was also drunk, who was fighting either with a bouncer or a cop or something. It's so funny. Not Peterson, but this other woman, her wig came off and she had that skull cap thing on, which I think just cracks me up. I think wigs are funny, but that's me. I'm funny about that. Now, aside from this, here is the deal, and this is the most important thing. When this happened, this judge decided she's going to just jump in, and that's that. She is just going to jump in, and she's going to jump in, and she's going to, quote, defend this person. That's what she was doing. I'm going to defend her. I don't know what the big deal is, but she hires her, I guess her what's his name? Bradley or somebody, her lawyer shows up, and he has a press conference on the front porch or something and misses it completely. She says, I don't know what's going on. She's trying to help somebody else. No good deed goes unturned, goes unpunished, blah, blah, blah. She's just trying her best What are you doing? What's going on? And she's like this. Of course, her picture, the glam shot, looks nothing like the mug shot. And she's thinking like, oh, it's a big misunderstanding. And of course, they're going to go, racist again, race. That's right. You know, the Fannie Willis thing, proud black woman. Whatever. Okay. Then we see the video. Oh, my God. This is a judge. And I want you to listen to me. And I did this at Lionel Legal. I tried my best. And I want you, and I said, this is what you've got to understand. You can beat the rap, but you can't beat the ride. You will never talk a police officer out of arresting you. It's never been done. Now, there sometimes a cop will say, hey, what are you doing here? And, and like a bad stop or something. And the guy will say, what's your jurisdiction? What's your probable cause? Okay, that's different. But here's this woman. She's in there slugging away. A cop gets hit. When a cop gets hit, battery in a Leo, it's over. Done. Finished. That's it. And if you say, I went in to defend, no, you joined the fight. You didn't defend anybody. This is the part it's this new sense of mob lunacy that has taken over and corrupted this country like you cannot believe. And this woman's a judge. Never get yourself involved in fights with bouncers. If there is a cop, back off. You're not going to rescue your friend from the police. She's a cop. Excuse me, she's a judge or was a judge. She's drunk. And instead of her saying, listen, Christine, I'm your lawyer, or Christina, I guess, I'm your lawyer. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to just be quiet, and we're going to slip away so that I can do some magic. I can go to the DA. I can talk to him. I can say, listen, let me work with you. We're doing no press conferences. I'm not going to make you look bad. I'm not going to make the cops look bad. Let's make a deal. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Good. Just keep quiet. We'll put this off. Let the public forget. She will go MIA. She will be radio silent. And then you and I can talk about something. What do you say? Okay, good. She's not going to say anything. No, that's not what her and her counsel did. They went out and they started and this is this, and this is what I did. And her co-defendant, the woman who supposedly she was trying to help or escape or secure her escape. Now she's got a target at her because the cops are going to go after her, and the DA is going to go after her because this idiot decides, oh, no. It's like I'm a Tiffany Henyard. I'm a Fannie Willis. I'm going to say whatever I want. I'm going to tell you this entitled arrogance. What planet do you live on? And you're a judge. I think she was lost. She didn't make the primaries or whatever. It doesn't really matter. This is something that you must pay some attention. Watch some of the videos about people being arrested. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen this. And I asked friends of mine, cops, active or retired, I said, have you ever seen anything like this? He says, no. I mean, it's happened, but not with this frequency. And they see this and they think, get your hands off me. You can't stop me. I know my rights. Get your hand. Where's my phone? Give me your supervisor. I love that. Give me your supervisor. I think give me my supervisor. But for some reason online, I guess they watch these and go, ask for your supervisor. Everything's going to stop until the supervisor, he's busy. There's no law. The supervisor, what are you talking about? And they escalate into these things because of this entitled stupidity. And then you mix alcohol. Some people can drink, some people can't, some get absolutely out of your mind. And there are some aspects of society, some tiers, layers, areas, demographics, folks, cultures, people, areas, neighborhoods, countries that have different idea about being quiet. I don't think you see this in Japan. Something tells me you don't see this in Japan. I remember one time there was a police academy thing. I was witnessing, and there was a guy from a Japanese police officer says, you know what we do? One of the things which we do, which is most effective for juveniles, they bring the kid back to the neighborhood, and they pull up. The kid gets out of the car, and the neighbors come out and turn their back on the kid, like, you shamed us. The kid's like, oh no, today shame, vergogna. No, it's always pride. I'm proud of who I am and my sexuality, but I'm proud. We got to know shame. We have to know embarrassment. There's more of this coming up. Oh, my friends, let me just tell you something. You have no idea what you're in store for. No idea, but I do. So, George at the lake, thank you, Charlie Calais, Raul Rodriguez, and Terry, thank you as well. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube, as well as X or Twitter, whatever the hell it's called this week. Okay, let me tell you something right now. Believe me. Just don't be so giddy you miss the obvious, and make sure you're subscribed. See you later. Don't forget, my friends. Until then, tonight, as we always say, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.